Hello, everybody. Welcome back to your regularly scheduled Milwaukee beer review. As always, I am Josh.
And I'm Ross.
And today we've got a special treat on hand. So last year we did a review of Third Space Brewing Company's Mocha Pie series, which was kind of what they call a deconstructed dessert series. They released it in stages last year, 6 beers, and basically it was this whole concept of building towards a mocha pie. So starting with a base Imperial Stout, building all the way up to what was the full Mocha Pie dessert series. This year, they added a different little spin to this series. So we've got with us the first 3 beers here in the German chocolate cake series. So a little bit new dessert, similar concept, but a few different adjuncts here that I think are going to make this a German chocolate cake style beer versus what we had last year. I did talk to Andy at the brewery way back before this was even announced, and he kind of mentioned, you know, slight change to the base beer, but very similar to what we saw last year. So it'll be interesting to try this a year later. So, Ross, what do you think?
No, I'm excited for this one. I mean, I think when we did the Mocha Pie one last year, we were kind of like, oh man, I really hope they bring this back, maybe change it up. So we're excited to see them bring this back and do the variants. You know, it was frustrating for us because we went in to pick these up, and every time we're in there, they're like, oh, we got them on tap. It's like, we want to wait till we do the video because we want to try and maybe surprise for the video. So my wife has had a few of them, and she's been drinking them in front of me. She hasn't told me what she thinks. She kept that quiet, but I'm excited for these. So I think these are, this was really good last year. I'm excited for the new variants this year. Yeah,
we waited all the way until we had all 6 of them, so we're doing these 3, and we're going to do the next video right after this one, so stay tuned for that. You did see us pour all these out. You saw us pour them out in the wrong order because we don't know how to count to 3. So they are in the correct order in these glasses now, so you will get the proper review of the proper beers. So without further ado, let's dive into the first one here. Ross, what are we drinking?
So we're starting off with the base. So as Josh had mentioned, they did the base last year, and this is where everything kind of, they add the adjuncts to this one as they go. So this one comes in at, where is it? 13.5%. It was aged in bourbon. It was released in October 2021, and it aged for 6 months in those barrels. So yeah.
All right.
Let's get some nose on.
A little nose on the base German chocolate.
I mean, oof. Bourbon forward.
Very bourbon forward.
Yeah.
So, if I remember from our review last year, link in the description to the Mocha Pie series, the nose on the Mocha Pie series wasn't fantastic from what I recall. The beer was excellent.
Yeah.
The nose wasn't great. This is a great nose.
Yeah, that's what we were saying last year. Remember, like, we weren't smelling what we were thinking we were going to smell, but we tasted exactly what we thought we were going to taste.
Yeah.
You know, it was weird. This one, I'm definitely smelling the bourbon on it. It's not like punching in the face bourbon, though, but it's there. It's present, and it's nice.
Yeah, there's definitely like an oaky, chocolatey, kind of fudgy sweetness behind it too, which is a good sign based on what we're smelling. So should give this thing a shot.
All right, cheers.
Cheers.
I mean, just real solid. I mean, it's exactly what you expect. A little chocolatey towards the end, but it's just, as a base beer, this is really good because it leaves it so open to add the variants and add the adjuncts to it to let those flavors shine. Yeah.
To your point, you're not getting like overwhelming fudge, oak, kind of dark tannin fruits. You're not getting, it's not overwhelming in any of those categories. All those kind of typical Imperial Stout, bourbon barrel aged stout notes are there, but they're very well blended. This is a pretty standard tasting bourbon barrel aged stout, and a good one at that.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, it's, to say this is the base and say, oh, we're going to add a bunch of stuff as later on, that's a good start. I mean, that's a fun start.
Yeah, the bourbon kicks up about midway through the palate, like about midway through. And then it's a really nice soft bourbon note to it. It's not, doesn't have that harsh bite to it, like you said. This is really, really good for a base beer.
I'm really enjoying this.
I would drink this by itself easily anytime.
Definitely.
This is better, I think, from what I remember, than the base on the Mocha Pie series last year.
I would agree. I don't remember what we rated the one last year, but this one definitely has a kick up. It's definitely just more, it's more full-bodied, I think. And then there's on the nose, everything just kind of adds to it. Putting this one on Untappd, probably going, I'm going to go 4. I really want to give it 4 1/4. I'm going to go 4 just because I want to leave room for what we're about to have as well.
I'm going to go a 4 as well. I thought about a 4 1/4. Part of the reason I'm thinking about that, if you've watched any of our recent videos, we've been reviewing some of Goose Island's BCS, which is kind of a gold standard type beer in this category. I don't know if I can quite give it the same legs as the BCS. I want a little bit more of that vanilla character in this. That's why I'm going with a 4, but it's darn close to a BCS in my opinion. Like, quality is right there with it.
It's really good. So that's a good start.
4 is a darn good start.
Yeah.
So beer number 2, if I recall correctly, this is the chocolate. So this is the second adjunct, or actually really the first adjunct in the German chocolate cake series. So this is basically taking that same base beer we just had and adding chocolate to it. So additions stated are cacao. This was also released at the same time as the base in October 2021 and aged for 6 months in those same bourbon barrels. So the only difference with this beer is a little bit of chocolate added to it. So let's get a little nose on it. Ooh, you can smell the chocolate.
Yeah.
Much more fudgy note on the nose.
Yeah, the bourbon's still there, but the chocolate really kind of takes it over.
The chocolate's way more pronounced than the bourbon. Like, I mean, obviously you're going to get that. The only adjunct, if you want to call it, is the bourbon from the barrels on that first one. But I'm surprised actually how much of a backseat the bourbon takes on the nose, considering what we got from the first one.
Yeah.
But it's not that it's not there. There's definitely that bourbon sweetness on the nose that you're getting.
And to an earlier point, this has definitely got more on the nose than last year's variants did.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, and I know we're only on the first technically adjunct, but there's definitely more nose coming through.
Absolutely, 100%.
So.
All right,
All right,
let's try it out.
Cheers.
Cheers. Wow. That's fudgy.
Yeah, there's a lot of chocolate in there. It's really back end. Like, it's actually, no, it's real full bodied. I mean, you get some of the chocolate up front, but it really kind of hits you in the back of the palate. Not a lot of bourbon compared to what we just had.
It's there, but similar to the nose, the chocolate fudgy characters kind of bury it. I get a little bit of it midway through the palate, similar to the base, but the chocolate is so strong, and that fudgy character is so strong. And it's not like a dark chocolate fudgy character. It's very much like a milk chocolate. I'm not getting a lot of dark bitterness, but it's good. I mean,
good. It's tasty.
I think I might like this better than the chocolate from last year too. If I remember correctly, I was a little disappointed in that one. But I think I like this better than the chocolate from the Mocha Pie series.
I don't remember, I'll be honest, I don't remember the chocolate one from last year all that much, which I think kind of says a lot about it. I do like this one. I guess I was expecting just a little something different. I don't want to say I'm disappointed. But it's missing something. I don't know what that is. Still really good. I mean, I'm splitting hairs here to maybe find something, but looking at this one compared to what we just had, one little sip. I'm actually going to put this slightly lower.
Really?
3.75.
Okay.
And this one's also, like I said, the last one's kind of, I wanted to do 4 1/4, but 4 felt good. This one, a 4 could be a good score, but I just like it slightly less than the base, because I think I really enjoyed the bourbon notes I got in that first one. So I'm going to say 3.75.
Man, this is tough. I feel like this one is equivalent to the first one to me. It depends on what you prefer. Do you like the chocolate note, the fudgy character, or do you like the bourbon character? I think that's where, like we've talked about some other beers, I like both. Depends on what mood I'm in, but I think they did the chocolate really, really well. I'm going to give this the same score as the first one and put it at a 4. I thought about even going a step higher again with this, just because I do like the fudgy character to this, but I think a 4 is another really good score on this.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's me putting it at 3.75 is not really knocking the beer. It's just think how much I like the base more. So. But yeah, no, really good. I mean,
It's tasty.
I like where this is going. I mean, I do.
I do too.
So last but definitely not least for this series is number 3, which is the vanilla. So this was part of the second release. So this one came out actually November 2021, the first part of November 21. Again, 13.5%. This one's just the vanilla one, so it has vanilla bean added to the base. And this one aged 7 months in the bourbon barrels as opposed to the 6 months the previous two were.
I'm guessing they all went into barrels at the same
Exactly.
time, and as they released these, they came out,
yeah.
which you got a little bit more time in the barrels. Last year, the vanilla was probably the shining star of the Mocha Pie series. So I'm pretty pumped about this. I know both of us are pretty big vanilla fans in these Imperial Bourbon Barrel Aged Stouts, so let's get a little nose on this thing. Yeah. We have a dog underneath the bar counter, too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah, big time vanilla on the nose.
Yeah. And this, honestly, I mean, as much as the chocolate kind like took forward and everything on the nose and everything, you got a little bit of bourbon. I'm not getting much bourbon at all. I'm getting just all vanilla on this.
Yep. These adjuncts seem to take over the nose and the profile on the beer, which, you know what? If you're going to do an adjunct, do an adjunct.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean...
And that's what we kind of said with the base. It had a good bourbon note to it, but like, it tasted really good. It was good, but it left a lot of room for additions and variations.
Yeah, the obviously the top note on the nose of this is the vanilla, but I'm still getting kind of a chocolatey, fudgy note, kind of the oaky characters from the barrel. The bourbon's buried in there, but to your point, it's not pronounced. It's not, you know, you're not smelling the bourbon on this nearly as much as you are on the base.
Yeah.
Well, let's dive into this thing.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, see, it's just so well done, and it's got a really, like the vanilla is there, it's prominent. It's slightly sweet, but not overpowering sweet, which is I think just such a good job with this one.
I don't know of a brewery that does vanilla in beer better than Third Space, or than Third Space does.
It's hard to argue. I've seen some. There's a couple that come to mind, but really this is the one that's most consistently doing it well. I mean, now this is the second one we've had from them, and it's just as good, if not better, than the first one we had. Yeah.
This isn't as mind-blowing as the vanilla was last year to me. I think mostly because I kind of had really high expectations for it.
This time around?
Yeah, exactly. And I had no expectations for it last time.
I was going to say, last year we went into this. I mean, this is our third video we ever did on the channel. And we were still kind of figuring this out. And, like, we were excited for this. It was kind of like, oh, we'll see what this is like. And we got that vanilla, and we were just blown away by it. So I think our expectations are unfairly high for this. It still hits the expectations.
Oh, it totally does. Yeah. Similar to the chocolate, the bourbon is buried, although I do get a little bit more bourbon bite on this, I think, than the chocolate. I think vanilla just naturally is less pronounced than chocolate as an additive. But the vanilla really kicks up, again, mid-palate, similar to these other beers. Like, there's not a lot immediately up front, but the vanilla character really takes over through the back end of the beer and sticks around. That's darn good. Third Space, well done, again, on the vanilla. I almost wanted to get a second 4-pack of this because the vanilla was so good last year. We didn't. But if you've still got some, we'll take it. I would put this at a 4.5. I just think this is such a good beer. I still have 2 of the vanillas from the Mocha Pie series last year because I've been kind of like guarding them with my life because they were so good, but I need to drink them. This is damn good. 4.5.
I'm right there with you. I think this is a 4.5, and this is a solid 4.5. It's not like I'm thinking like, no, this is a good 4.5.
Yeah.
If you guys have not had this one, if Third Space still has some or it's on tap or whatever, make sure to get it. It's just such a solid beer. Especially this time of year, the vanilla notes in this time of year, it's so good. It's so well done.
Agreed.
Well done. Well done again.
Yeah. So. I mean, this is a super fun series to do. You know, kind of seeing how all these different adjuncts play off that base beer is a really, really neat way to do this. I think we said that last year too. Well done, Third Space. We're excited for episode number 2 of this series to finish off the German chocolate cake. And not once did I accidentally say Mocha Pie yet. So, thanks, Ross.
A lot of ball game left.
Yeah, a lot of ball game. So thanks for tuning in. This is the first episode in the German chocolate cake series. We'll be spinning up the next one for you here very, very shortly. So stick around, having a lot of fun. Look for us on the rest of our social media channels. We're on Facebook, we're on Untappd, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram. We're also here on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe. We'd love to have you stick around and check out the rest of our videos on our channel. We are 1 year in and cruising along. So thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thanks, everyone.